what if the human footprint was a positive thing instead of a negative thing? So wouldn't it be great if we could design things that actually restored natural systems, and then you'd think of the human footprint as a delightful prospect instead of such a horrifying one.
In January of 1999, Bill McDonough met with William Clay Ford, Jr., chairman of the Ford Motor Company. He presented the McDonough-Brungart principles and vision for the future.
And he was looking out the window. And after this long conversation, he looked out and he said, you know, do you think it would be possible to apply these principles to that? And he pointed at the Rouge, this huge facility. And I sort of gulped and went, well, I suppose we'd have to.
Located in Dearborn, Michigan, Ford's River Rouge plant is considered by many to be the most significant manufacturing facility of the 20th century. Completed in 1921, the plant takes its name from the Rouge River that borders it. At one time employing some 80,000 workers, the plant was the world's first vertically integrated automobile factory. Iron ore and other raw materials entered at one end and were made into steel, rolled into sheet metal, cast into engines, processed into glass, stamped into auto parts, assembled into cars, and rolled off the assembly line a mere 28 hours later.
It's a company that's almost 100 years old now. We've succeeded to a great degree. And so you get comfortable with what you're doing, but consumers and our society's expectations of an excellent, outstanding company are really changing very dramatically.
In a basement room at Ford headquarters, McDonough and Brungart were commissioned to map out a strategy for Ford's transition to sustainability, beginning with the Rouge plant itself. The principle of waste equals food was applied to every aspect of the facility.
And then it says treat all emissions as nutrients of safe and productive biological or technical systems. So we look at it as an asset instead of a liability.
The room was used to educate about the new goals and standards that would measure Ford's progress to sustainability, including the interests of workers, community members, and other stakeholders. This wasn't about being less bad. This was a place to envision a new future.
What went on in this room was really the process of systematically looking at a wide range of very creative ideas that Bill and his team, as well as Ford people, brought to the table, and sifting those to come up with that precious few projects which could demonstrate success in all respects, economic, equitable, and environmental. No trade-offs.
The joke in Dearborn was that this image of the Rouge is a color photograph. The challenge was to restore not only the factory complex, but also the Rouge watershed itself, a $2 billion project with a 20-year timeline. One of the first assignments was the plant's stormwater runoff problem, a huge liability on Ford's books. McDonough's team proposed the world's largest grass roof and a restoration of natural habitat that not only brought back native songbirds, but also saved the company over $30 million.
That this is a fundamentally sound business decision, which is also an excellent decision environmentally and socially.
What Bill Ford has done by declaring the Rouge the icon of the next industrial revolution is he has declared himself native to this place. If we declare ourselves native to a place, we start to think in the long term. So the next set of steps that will occur there, we'll be thinking about the vehicles that are made there, the processes involved in making those vehicles.
In the year 2000, the Ford Motor Company's division sold almost 7.5 million vehicles worldwide, with sales of over $170 billion. The transformation of this industrial giant will mean a revolutionary reconception of how cars are designed, manufactured, and powered, with implications for all transportation choices. The key to this change is Ford's size.
What we're interested in is you're spending $140 billion. Now, if you have $90 billion worth of purchase orders, imagine if you got up and said, I would like my fabrics in my automobiles to be completely safe for people. In fact, not only safe, but also give them nutrition. all the companies that provide these fabrics and materials, instead of saying, oh, we can't do that, or what are they talking about, or there's no market for this, or whatever, all of a sudden sit up and say, oh, what, how can we help, you know? So all of a sudden the world changes. Bill Ford is the one who is going to make the next industrial revolution manifest.